There is uncertainty over Nigeria's proposed ban on sachet and small volume alcoholic drinks, despite a December 31 enforcement deadline set by the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC. Segun Ajayi Kadiru, Director General of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, warned that the ban could be counterproductive and cause significant economic disruption. Yesterday on the morning show, Liboros Oshoma said banning sachet alcohol in the country is not enough, stressing the need to identify people before buying alcohol. Joining us on the show to further the conversation around the ban is Ogakwu Dominic, Public Affairs Analyst and President, Civil Society Groups for Good Governance. Good morning, Mr. Dominic.
Good morning, and thank you for having me on the show.
All right, okay, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, Mr. Dominic, 2024 December was supposed to be the deadline for this proposed ban on, sachet alcoholic products. Now, stakeholders, including the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, met with NAFDAC, and then a moratorium of 1 year was given, which ends today. Namely, a phased removal and ban, on the production. But we have not seen that happening. And now the Senate said, look, the moratorium should end as agreed. But there's this story that the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation now says, no, it should not end. The manufacturers should be given more time. So that's just by way of summary, the background. So where do you stand in this matter, speaking for civil society?
All right, thank you very much, sir. I must thank you because this is an issue of serious concern to us as stakeholders in the Nigerian project. As civil society, we understand the position and why we are concerned about the fact that the ban may help in one way or the other to curb one or two challenges, the menace of abuse of alcohol and the rest of it. But we are also more concerned that it does not go well with the entire or the general public. That is because if you look at the statistics, it is going to affect us. The impact is actually anti-people. Jobs will be lost. It is proposed that over 500,000 jobs will be lost in the first instance, and Nigeria will be losing over 1.5 trillion naira in investment. And so I feel that they need to reconsider. I'm sure it is in the light of that that even the SGF decided to take a position with the Nigerian people. And I want to believe that as Nigerians, we should be more concerned about the impact on the negative side than just trying to play to the gallery. I understand that NAFDAC as an agency, they are working based on their mandate. But then issues of enforcement, of compliance, and of trying to look at it dispassionately. I don't want to believe that it's the alcohol or the container or the sachet that is a problem. I think we need to separate the two. Is it the alcohol that is a problem, or is it the sachet that is a problem? So we need to really look at these issues the way they are before any of such ban is carried out.
Okay, Mr. Dominic, I don't know if you were part of the conversation in the last 2 years when this had been debated and the Senate had now, backed NAFDAC on this particular move. Why now? Because what we had, what the understanding is that there's a phased, the agreement was a phased banning as opposed to an outright ban, and that finally it will take effect tomorrow. Why now? The conversation has been ongoing for so long. Why did you have a part in that conversation?
Okay, because the truth be told, if you look at it, the available information does not show, is not green enough. What that means is that it's not favorable to the people. There is no substantial report as to what are the pros and cons, as to what they are really looking at. I'm sure that they are supposed to have done more work in terms of trying to work with the industry players to ensure that these people will not be losing money at the end of the day. Don't forget, these are people who have invested so much. And the ban, yes, was supposed to end in this December.
Yes.
But so far from the information we are gathering, it's going to really affect them seriously.
Yes,
and so they are asking for more time. I think
when would be the right time, Mr. Dominic? Mr. Dominic, sorry. When would be the right time? Because the conversation has been had. They gave them moratorium to be able to do away with, at least not make a loss based on the product already on ground. And in the interest of public safety, to address underage drinking, this ban was announced by NAFDAC. So there was enough time to look at these areas, and I believe that they've come to an agreement. Is this not taking us back again and saying, okay, they're going to lose? I think there's an agreement around phased out approach, the importance of public safety, public health, especially for the protection of young people and the vulnerable in society, above in economic gain.
Okay. The truth be told, the ban on sachet alcohol is not a public health emergency. I must tell you that if you look at it, the National Assembly and both NAFDAC are playing to the gallery. There are more important issues to be addressed. Issues bordering on GMOs, on fake drugs, on a lot of. So you see, even the issue of compliance should be taken more aggressively. It is not in the sachet. If you are saying you are placing a ban on alcohol, now what that means is that you are even asking people to drink more. In the instance that this ban scales through. So what we are saying is that let all the stakeholders within the industry come on the table again, since these distillers are saying that they have not been able to exhaust their investment. A lot of them have investment, they have production materials and the rest of it. So they should be given more time. And then look at it head on from a position whereby, because if you look at 1 year, 1 year is not enough time for an investment for people who may have invested so much money, who were looking at a period of 10 years. Some of these people did production, are waiting for 10 years and the rest of it. So if you now say just 1 year, I don't think that that's fair enough.
Fine. You have something.
Okay. So, two things I want from you. I love data. I want data that supports your arguments of, 1, the job losses. 2, the sector that job loss is going to happen. 3, the economic implications. That's number 1. Number 2, I also want data that supports your argument that it's not a public health issue. It doesn't take priority. And there's no alcoholism as much, or is not a pertinent problem as such. I just want empirical data. Not anecdotal, okay. Empirical data. Studies, quote studies, give me facts, write-ups to that effect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. A study that was done by Nairametrics shows that about 500 jobs will be lost. You can Google it, you can check it, you can fact check it. It's there. Again, yes, over 500,000 jobs. Yes, 500,000 jobs will be lost. Again, that over one, I think about 1.2 trillion in investment with regards to the investment that has been made in this sector will also go down the drain. Also, I think that is from study? Also Nairametrics or one of these.
Is that from the Nairametrics study?
Yes.
Okay.
From Nairametrics study.
Okay.
Yes. So that is it. Now, the second leg of your question, where you were talking about whether alcohol is whether it's not what I said was that it's not a public health emergency. Yes, there are so many. For instance, let me give you basic drugs like Panadol, which everybody, whether you are from the north, you are from the south of this country, whether you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, don't forget alcohol is just mostly a southern engagement. Most people, the sachet drink we are talking about sells more in the south. And not everybody is indulged in alcohol, I must tell you that. So, but basic medicine, like Panadol, antibiotics, and the rest of it, almost everybody has to take that. So I feel that those are the things that are emergency. Do you understand? So I believe that we have to look at separate the issues, not necessarily looking at it from just one side.
But on that second one, you didn't give me a coherent study that prove, that is not a health hazard and the likes. Because those that advocate in the favor of this, there's also a 2020 study on use of alcohol and sexual behavior among adolescents in Ibadan that found that sachet alcohol use prevalent among adolescents, associating it with risky sexual behavior, which 33.6% of the students consumed before their last sexual encounter. So that's a study that the advocates of the ban are making. But you have not given me a counter study. You just only gave me a nairametrics report on the, effects on jobs and all of that. So you've not given me a counter report. Dr. Abati, go ahead. Okay, go ahead if you have it. Go ahead.
Anyway, don't worry, Mr. Dominic. Don't bother yourself about searching for data from this blue sky. Now, let me ask you. One, NAFDAC has the authority under Section 30 of its Act, and also specifically Section 5, to control alcohol consumption. Now, the negotiation with the producers of these sachet products took 5 years. And then in 2018, 2024, they then arrived at the decision to impose the ban. Then there were negotiations. They gave an additional year. Okay? December 31, 2025. It will seem to me that a period of 6 years is enough if the stakeholders are acting in good faith to know that they've been given enough time. So asking for more time doesn't make sense. It will come across as an attempt by the businesses, now saying there will be job loss and all that, after a period of 6 years, to just ensure that they have their way. There must be a sunset clause to agreements which must be respected. But for you personally, as a person, saying you are speaking for civil society, what is more important to you? Public health that the government is trying to protect, or profit? Which one is more important to you? Bear in mind that in Kenya and Uganda, where similar bans were introduced in 2017 and 2018, they've seen a reduction in alcohol abuse. But you are promoting profit. Which one is more important to you? Public health, the lives of our young persons binging and abusing alcohol, or the profit by the companies involved? It's a moral question.
Okay,
beyond
Dr.
law.
Bati, thank you very much. That really is a moral question. But I must also confess that you and I know that the ban is not on alcohol. Is on sachet and PET bottles. That will not stop people from taking alcohol. That might even heighten the consumption of alcohol. What that means is that people will now look for money through any means to buy bigger bottle and indulge more. It's not going to stop it. If we are saying we want to fight against alcohol, it's a better thing.
The sachet makes it accessible, it makes it cheaper, and particularly for young people. Please, have you read the literature? Don't just say things that are not part of the literature. You are saying they will buy bigger bottles. It's about the ready access by young people.
Okay, I see from where you are coming from. But I want to also understand that it is not an emergency as to the way we are looking at it. Yes, I agree that I am not in support of people even taking alcohol. I'm not in support of young people indulging in alcohol. But I'm saying that in as much as we are concerned about the public health dimension of this discussion, we should also be more concerned about people who have made investment rolling into millions and millions of naira. There must be a balance in our policy shift or whatever we want to do. And I think that this is the right time for the stakeholders to come back. Because for the manufacturers to now say they need enough time, I think it is the interest of both parties. It's in the interest of the country. Because what that means is that if you throw people out of job, you are asking them to go into other vices. And so we should be balanced in trying to make this policy shift. I think that is what is important.
Okay, well, thank you very much for stating your point this morning. We look forward to seeing what will happen. It's tomorrow that's meant to be the implementation when this will come into enforcement. So let's see what will happen with NAFDAC, whether they would listen to your plea or perhaps go ahead with the decision.